Hey everyone, it's Sharp the Smart Ass Dragon here alongside my co-host.
DSP, Dragon Scare Plus. What's up, guys?
And today we're going to bring you another new segment we are trying out. Our top 10 videos. And today the first topic we're going to do is, surprise surprise, it's going to be about wrestlers. So we decided to do our top 10 favorite wrestlers of all time from any era. So wrestling really is a big part of our lives, and so we decided to make this new segment. Decided to make these segments, and the first thing we decided to do was, get wrestling out of the way because it is a huge part of our lives, and we want to show just how much we care by choosing our favorite wrestlers. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and do our top 10. Let's go ahead and do our top 10.
Right.
My number 10 goes to none other than Cody Rhodes. I really like Cody Rhodes. I really think he's got a lot of talent he's really learned a lot from his father and his older brother. And I really think that he's starting to shine in the indies where he's like ROH world champion still, I think. And he's really shown up as the leader of the American Indies Bullet Club. So with that, I really think that Cody's really making great strides away from WWE.
That's a good choice. I agree with you. He's not on my list, but it's a really good choice.
So what's your number 10, DSP?
My number 10 is The Big Show. And I know, so he's current, right? But his contract ends in February.
And he's about to retire soon also.
And he's about to retire. He'll probably go to the Performance Center, have a training aspect. He doesn't want to be done with WWE. He's just done being active. But The Big Show's given a lot to the business over the years. He's a really good, solid big man, especially in his youth. He's had lots of interesting angles. At one point, he was the WWE champion and the ECW champion. When WWE brought back ECW, he was a very dominant ECW champion for a long time. So the Big Show's given a lot to the business and is still willing to give, now. So that's why he's my number 10 pick. Big ups to the Big Show.
Big ups to the big man. Yeah, true. Moving on to number 9. Number 9 to me goes to Kushida of New Japan Pro Wrestling. I really like Kushida actually because he's got a very interesting gimmick. This Back to the Future stuff is pretty awesome. He's got like this aura that he really does have like this aura that like pulls you to him and makes you cheer for him. And his performance in the ring and out of the ring is always amazing. It really is amazing. It just shows that, Japan really does not half-ass anything. When they do something, they do it full throttle. They do it with confidence. And Kushida is like the personification to me of that confidence because of his aura, his in-ring ability, and his gimmick. To me, he's really gotten like a great it factor to become one of the greatest wrestlers in the world.
You got lots of hope and pride for that guy, don't you?
Yes, I do. I really think this guy's got what it takes to become one of the best wrestlers in the world.
And like I said, don't get me wrong, I like WWE. I've always loved WWE. They have a thing where if they didn't build you, though, it's very hard to maintain your stature from anywhere else.
Not to mention, if you're pretty famous in the indies, it's kind of hard to come up with a brand new gimmick and all that stuff for WWE.
And then if they do let you keep your gimmick, they kind of take creative control from you, which I've seen a lot. Like AJ Styles has done very well. You know what I mean?
And Bobby Roode.
Bobby Roode's done really well. But there's other people that didn't do so well. Like Austin Aries didn't do so well. He kind of washed out a little bit. T.J. Perkins was a flash in the pan as the Cruiserweight champion, basically. They did the whole homeless story on him, and maybe it was true, I don't know. But either way, he was a flash in the pan, and he was a really good talent as well. So it's a flash in the pan, basically, is what you are, and it's either you're going to be successful or you're going to fail. There's not really an in-between unless you branch out and make a new gimmick, which, like Sharp said, it's very difficult for you to make a new gimmick when you're really super popular or something.
So move on to your number 9.
My number 9 is RVD, Rob Van Dam. I really like Rob Van Dam. Not only did he personify the 5-star frog splash. But he's very gifted, very talented, very athletic, has his own gym, created his own weight bench where he does a split and lifts weights at a lifted, like basically he puts two things, then he, like, yeah, it's insane. He created that. Not only that, he's given a lot to the wrestling business. He's a very talented guy. He's a big ECW guy. He came to WWE and tore it up. Was tag team champions with Kane back in the day, back in I think 2004, maybe 2003.
I think you got it right.
So he was he did a lot for the business, and he also was able to take. In 2006, he became, and when they did a ECW One Night Stand, he did take the WWE Championship off of John Cena, and he was the champion for a minute there too. So like I said, big deal. I really like Rob Van Dam. He's done a lot for the business. Very athletic, and I would love to see a return for Rob Van Dam.
Who else at number 8? Number 8 for me goes to Matt Hardy. This is mostly because of the Hardy Boys are very popular, are very inspirational to me. I really like the Hardy Boys. And to me, before Matt Hardy left WWE to do the broken gimmick, to now becoming half broken on WWE now. He actually had some good gimmicks back then. He had great rivalries, especially with his brother. And he had become ECW champion. He had become a great US champion, and as well as a tag team champion.
Had some good feuds with MVP, if I remember.
Yeah, he was there, even a tag team champion with MVP, his rival for a while.
And he did a really good storyline with Edge. That was really good too.
Yes, the Edge, Matt Hardy, Lita storyline was pretty good. And then when he went to TNA and started his broken gimmick, that's really when he really wanted to start to shine out of the Hardy Boys gimmick. So, and you know, it's still, even though it's not as popular as it was back then now, it's still popular, even in WWE, where he's basically half broken, half regular Matt Hardy. So, with that in mind, I still think Matt Hardy's a great wrestler, both as singles and tag team competitor. Which is why he's my number 8.
Alright, my number 8 is Christopher Daniels. He's done a lot of time in TNA. That's basically where, like, he became more popular. He's had a lot of feuds with AJ Styles. They were best friends. He also did segments of playing Suicide, which they reframed out into Manic.
What's up, buddy?
Ignore that.
Sorry, guys. That's my son being dragonish. So, anyway, Chris Rams is a great talent. Junior, go lay down.
Sorry about that, folks.
So, Chris Rodano is a very talented guy. There's a part of me that wants to see him in WWE just because that's what I watch. But there's another part of me that doesn't, because pretty much anywhere else he could go right now probably would benefit his career. WWE already has so much talent that they don't have anything to do with. So, Christopher Daniels, really good talent. One of my favorite wrestlers of all time in TNA. Definitely had to make my list.
Number 7, Eddie Guerrero. To me, this is one of the greatest Mexican wrestlers, Latino wrestlers of all time. His light cheating steel gimmick has been basically timeless to me. In my opinion, he has become great champion in both WWE, WCW, in some of the wrestling promotions down in Mexico. To me, you really won't find a greater wrestler who has talent, both in the ring and out the ring, great mic skills, great charisma, and basically just come out in a lowrider, and that make it look stereotypish.
Yeah, that was always pretty cool. I like
you
the
know,
thing where he would pretend that he got hit with a weapon and win that way. That was great.
oh yes, yes. His light cheat and steal gimmick has always been probably his best idea ever, which is why he's on my list. You know, becoming WWE champion, held multiple mid card champions from WWE, becoming tag team champions with the likes of Rey Mysterio, Tajiri, and so on.
His cousin Chavo.
His
Or nephew, sorry, nephew Chavo.
Nephew Chavo.
Sorry.
To me, Eddie Guerrero will be one of the best Latino wrestlers of all time, in my opinion.
My number 7 is none other than the Apex Predator, WWE's Viper, Randy Orton. He came in, he's third generation. Came in and he was, a little green. I think they moved him up early because of who he was, or who his dad was. But he has, over the years, exploded into a phenomenal athlete. Not only being a part of Evolution, and being part of Rated RKO, which were tag teams that were awesome in their time period. Coming back in Evolution a couple years ago, but then he did, what were they called?
With who?
Ted DiBiase and Cody Rhodes.
Legacy,
there you go. He was able to lead a team, but not only that, backstage he has a massive presence, and he's one of the probably biggest star powers that SmackDown has right now, as he's sitting on SmackDown Live. He also was part of the Wyatt family recently, too. So, he's had a lot of goodness, and he just, had a title run, and he's been able to, he's been doing really well, and it's always awesome to see Randy Orton. I actually personally got to meet Randy Orton and get some autographs. But yeah, he's one of the greatest wrestlers I think of our time right now. Maybe not of all time. I mean, he is a great wrestler of all time, but especially in our generation right now, I think he's one of the best wrestlers that we have, and that's why he made my number 7.
number 6 to me goes to James Storm, the Cowboy. This is mostly because, I watched TNA. I haven't been watching it recently, but I watched TNA also.
It's still on TV.
Yeah. Well, it's GFW now, but...
Yeah. They went with GFW?
Yeah, I'm guessing pretty much. But like I said, he's a great wrestler in his time in TNA / GFW, where he was a multiple world champion, world heavyweight champion. He had great tag teams with Chris Harris as World's Most Wanted or America's Most Wanted, and especially with Bobby Roode as Beer Money. That was a great segment. That was a great gimmick he did with him. And of course, he's also led his own team with the DCC. Which wasn't a well thought team, but he did manage to lead his team. He does manage to lead, have a great presence in the locker room, and the fact is, whether he's a heel or face, he is always going to exuberate a great presence in the ring because of his talent and mic skills, which is why to me he will be number 6 on my list.
That's great. I actually like James Storm.
Well, buddy.
And you're right, he does have a lot of presence in TNA, which I'm kind of glad he's chosen to stay.
I fixed the issue.
Huh?
I fixed the issue.
You did?
Sorry about that. Sorry about this, folks.
You gonna
My
call?
number 6
Yeah.
is none other. It's a phenomenal choice, if you know what I'm saying. The phenomenal AJ Styles.
The face that runs the place.
I think he is one of the most incredible talents of our generation as well. He's very athletic. In TNA, he had a lot of locker room presence, training some of the better superstars, working with them. He's a veteran. He's the first ever Grand Slam champion in TNA history. He's a very talented guy. He's one of the reasons why WWE is fighting so hard to get some of the back footage of TNA. And then coming into WWE, it was super, super great that he not only has he had great success, but he's also became a decent backstage go-to guy for the new guys coming up from NXT to go up and, you know, really prove that the little guy can make it too.
Except he was never in NXT.
No, I'm saying NXT guys that come up.
Mm.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to number 5. For me, number 5 goes to none other than Finn Balor.
Ooh, good choice.
I know. I really like Finn. I like his presence, his aura.
I like his demon gimmick.
I really like that when he brings that out too. It doesn't matter where he's the Demon King or the extraordinary Finn Balor. This guy just comes up with a great ring presence, and his in-ring ability is phenomenal.
Not only that, in his match with Seth Rollins, he reset his shoulder and finished to become the first ever Universal Champion.
So you know he's got great passion for this business. So other than that, oh yeah, let's not forget Too Sweet Bullet Club and all that. He has become a great wrestler. Become Universal Champion. He's been a multiple, I think one of the first to be a multiple NXT champion. And I can just see him taking the other titles very soon in the new year.
I think he's gonna be the superstar. He's gonna be the face that runs the places. You know what I mean? He's gonna be Raw's face.
He'll either be, whether he's on SmackDown or Raw, he's gonna be being the face of the brand he's gonna be on. So I can see him being a multiple champion in the new year. So yeah, number 5 for me, Finn Balor. I especially love his work in New Japan also, where he was the Bullet Club leader.
He's done a lot of good work. He's been everywhere. He's done lots of good work.
And let's not forget his most recent pay-per-view match with AJ Styles.
Phenomenal match.
Great match. Great to see the former Bullet Club leaders go at it.
And it was great. Not only were they able to go at it, they know each other so well. It made the match a 5-star match. Easy.
A great 5-star match.
Probably one of the best matches. I would say a good match of the year candidate this year so far.
Alright, let's move on to your number 5.
My number 5 is the Lucha King himself, Rey Mysterio. I love the 619. He started when he was 15. His parents gave him a choice. He could go to college or be a wrestler. So he became a wrestler. They gave him a year to become successful. He took Mexico by storm at 15 years old, working under his uncle. And he was, I think, El Caribo or something like that. Basically the Spanish word for, I think it's singbird or songbird or something. Sorry, I'm not very well with Spanish. But anyway, then he took on the moniker of his uncle. His uncle's Rey Mysterio. Gave him Rey Mysterio Jr. He was Rey Mysterio Jr. forever in WCW, having great feuds with that of Eddie Guerrero, Psychosis, lots of wonderful, talented guys, and he is a great talent, coming up with so many moves that we know today as popular that he invented, including the 619. Then when he made his debut to WWE, he was one of the first people ever that popped out of the floor. Not only that, Junior! Go to bed.
Sorry about that, folks.
Anyway, being not only one of the greatest high flyers, I think, of our time, maybe ever, but he was able to tag with Edge, tag with Eddie Guerrero, which I think that was my favorite tag team. He tagged with Batista. There was lots of greatness that he's done. And his outfit has always changed, which was cool to me, too. And he retired JBL. So he's one of the all-time greats and alive for the business. That's why Rey Mysterio is my number 5.
Well, I don't know what else to put up for that, since you pretty much explained it, because my number 4 is none other than Rey Mysterio as well. I mean, what else can I say that he hasn't said? This guy is, without a doubt, one of the best luchadors ever, in my opinion. He is one of the best. He'll always be one of the best luchadors. His ring presence, his career spanning the decades. It's just, he's a multiple world champion, multiple tag team champion, multiple mid-card champion. There's just nothing bad I can say about Rey Mysterio that I can't remember. Can't remember happening.
Not only that, right now he's in Lucha Underground tearing it up. He's basically trying around everywhere, just tearing it up. So, and there's rumors that he may be making a WWE return.
We'll see.
I kind of think he's doing good where he's at. You know what I mean? Just bounce around.
Just stay.
Where he's...
don't go back to WWE because you'll be doing worse there.
Yeah.
Moving on to your number 4.
My number 4 is the Cerebral Assassin, the King of Kings, the Game, Triple H. He's done a lot for the business. Big cornerstone of the Attitude Era, D-Generation X. Also part of, created Evolution, was a part of the Authority, created NXT. What can you not say that Triple H has done? He's beaten them all. Has probably one of the most devastating finishers in WWE history. He's done it all. He's done everything. Also temporarily retiring Mick Foley, which I think was kind of a full retirement, really. I mean, I know he did come back for a little bit, but he didn't come back in the same as he did when he retired Cactus Jack. So here goes Mick Foley, Cactus Jack when he retired him. He's been in probably more Hell in the Cells than anyone else. He is undoubtedly one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, and definitely a Hall of Famer. And will definitely probably, him alongside his wife, will probably inherit the keys of the kingdom when Vince decides to step down.
Moving on to number 3. This is where I was born in the Attitude Era of WWE. The Monday Night Wars really comes to light. Because my number 3 pick is none other than Bill Goldberg.
Goldberg.
Love that song no matter what.
All right.
I love Bill Goldberg, especially back when I was a little kid and I saw him just decimate wrestler after wrestler. Managed to make one of the longest winning streaks in the modern era before it was broken by Asuka. But that winning streak to me was an amazing streak. He was one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Holding world champions, a U.S. championship, never getting his streak broken until like a year and a half later.
And the way they did that was messed up anyway. They'd use a taser to beat him, which I remember how mad I was at that.
Yeah, so was I. I was scared. I was actually scared for Bill's life, really.
I liked Bill Goldberg. I've always liked Bill Goldberg. He just had a run when he came in with Brock Lesnar. I thought that was great. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it shows that despite how old he is now, he still puts on an amazing match.
Yeah, and
even though it was short, he managed to make a run as a Universal Champion.
Yeah, and he did really good. I mean, he had a really, really, really good match when he was. I mean, he did drop the belt to Brock Lesnar, but it was a good match. I mean, he showed he could still take bumps like everybody else. And I wouldn't mind seeing Goldberg come back and do some more stuff. You know what I mean? Maybe WrestleMania.
But
that'd be great.
Yeah, but for now he's retired.
Yeah.
But for that, I say Bill Goldberg, to me, you are one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Your streak, even though it's now broken, will be timeless to me, as someone who's watched the Monday Night Wars his entire childhood.
As to me, I've watched WWE for a long, long time. I've watched WCW. I'm a big wrestling fan. Your streak will always be timeless. And you will always be known as the first person set streak. You're in that very rare class where, like, the Undertaker's WrestleMania streak, your undefeated streak, and Asuka joined it. Which Goldberg, he did endorse it. He said that he thought the streak was in good hands. So.
Let's move on to your number 3.
My number 3 is the Texas Rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's probably one of the greatest trash talkers ever in the aspect that he laces up his boots, he whips ass. He got really popular in King of the Ring.
Well, he made the world famous line.
Yeah.
Of Austin 316.
Austin 316. It's probably the first and only ever really religious promo that they allowed on the air to be cut. Not only that, him and Vince had one of the greatest feuds probably ever.
it is one in fact one of the best feuds WWE has ever had of all time. It's probably one of the best feuds wrestling will ever have in its lifetime.
There's so much stuff they let him do to Vince, and that. I mean, he came with a gun and made Vince pee himself. He poured concrete in his Corvette. He beat him up in the hospital. And he beat Booker T up in a
Grocery
store. Yeah, I mean, there's so much stuff he was able to do. He drank beer every day. He did what every American wants to do. Beat up his boss.
Drink beer.
Whip ass, and go home.
And this was during the Attitude Era where they were pretty much pushing the envelope as is.
And he's, in my opinion, one of the most popular wrestlers of all time. It wasn't about. He just has a in-ring presence. It's not technically. He's a sound technical guy, but he was never flashy. But he's been a multiple-time WWE champion. He was an Intercontinental champion. He got to wrestle with some of the greats like Owen Hart, Bret the Hitman Hart. Special WrestleMania 13, probably the greatest match of his career.
He's even teamed up with wrestlers to even hold a couple of tag team titles under his belt.
Which one of them being Shawn Michaels, Dude Love, which is also Mankind, because Mankind's so cool he can be 4 people.
At the same time, apparently.
Yeah, at the same time. He actually even did one of my other tag teams when they kind of made him heel. They made him part of the 2-man power trip and teamed him up with Triple H. I liked that. I thought some of that was great. He's had some of the greatest runs and things to do, period.
Moving on to number 2.
Take it
Again, really don't know what else to say because my number 2 pick is also Stone Cold Steve Austin. That guy, when I was a little kid, I was like 4 when I first started watching wrestling. And I was watching the Monday Night Wars. And when I saw Stone Cold Steve Austin, I was immediately hooked. Because he was everything I wanted to be. I was this shy kid who rarely talked. He was this guy that talked, that didn't care what anyone else said. He just said what was on his mind. And he kicked butt while doing it. He always backed up his words, his in-ring skills with his mic skills. And which has led him to become a main eventer throughout the entire Attitude Era and lead him to multiple world championships, lots of mid-card titles, and of course being a multiple tag team champion, which he just explained earlier. It's just, there's no other way to say other than say that he is probably one of the best in-ring performer you will find in a lifetime.
I'm not gonna lie,
But that was because he probably had his gimmick was probably the best that WWE has ever pushed the envelope to.
Yeah.
Without breaking the line they were crossing.
Not only that, him and Goldberg were key elements to the Monday Night War for me. That was what made me flip the channel back and forth. Seeing Stone Cold, seeing Goldberg. That was kind of what, and it made watching the main event hard because Stone Cold was normally in the main event instead was Goldberg. And they tried to show it at the same time. It made it really difficult. Which was when commercials were helpful.
Yeah, and that's why to me Stone Cold's gimmick will be one of my favorite gimmicks of all time.
Me too. It definitely personified a lot of who I wanted to be as a kid. So
Right, so let's move on to your number 2.
my number 2 is the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. Not many people can argue. Junior, go to bed.
Sorry about that, folks. Kids having a hard time going to bed.
Shawn Michaels is probably, and I don't think there's too many people that can argue, one of the greatest performers of all time. He is Mr. WrestleMania. He's the showstopper. He helped make WWE where it is today, alongside The Undertaker and Stone Cold, Triple H. He also was a part of the first ever Hell in a Cell, first ever ladder match. He's helped start and put a lot of matches on the map. He helped WWE get where they are today. He was a part of the Montreal Screwjob, which caused a lot of scrutiny.
And he has really earned his title as Mr. WrestleMania.
He definitely has. He always excels at WrestleMania. He puts on great matches no matter what. So in my opinion, he's probably one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. And he's definitely worthy of number 2 on my list.
Before we go to our number 1, we're going to go ahead and give our honorable mentions. My mentions are Bray Wyatt, Goldust, Braun Strowman, Sami Zayn, Kazuchika Okada of New Japan, Marty Scurll, and finally Chris Jericho, who recently left WWE to go to New Japan and have a feud with Kenny Omega.
I'm
kind of interested in finding that actually.
Me too. I'm also kind of glad he brought up Goldust, because what everybody forgets is he was a part of the Attitude Era too. So when Triple H made a statement saying that the Attitude was over with him and Undertaker, Attitude Era, what about Goldust?
I don't know. Go ahead and go through your mentions.
All right. I got Edge, who unfortunately had to be retired due to a neck injury. I got Christian, who basically kind of fizzled out. They let him have a world title, and he kind of fizzled out. I'm gonna go with I have the Hardy Boys down, I'm gonna pick one. I'm gonna go with Jeff because he went with Matt. I'm gonna go with Jeff. Jeff is probably one of the greatest high flyers of all time. I've yet to find something that he's not willing to do. Even in TNA, I think one time he went to a period where he didn't eat or something and still wrestled. He's had a lot of good matches, been a world champion almost everywhere he's been. Great guy. The Dudley Boys, I like both of them. I like Bubba Ray. He was able to be a leader of a faction and really, really sell out any gimmick he's done. I have Suicide. I thought he was really great. A video game was based off of him. I thought he lived up to the video game's character. I have Hernandez from LAX when they did it. Thought he's a great athletic big man wrestler. And I have Psychosis that I mentioned earlier, feuded with Rey Mysterio. In WCW, he was really top of the line. They brought him in WWE and put him on a lawnmower and kind of really bullshit his gimmick.
And he still made it popular.
But he still made it popular and made me want to ride a lawnmower everywhere.
Okay then, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and pick our number one.
Junior! Ben, you say your number.
While he takes care of Junior, when he takes care of his son, I'm gonna go ahead and give you my number one. It's none other than Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy to me is everything I've always wanted to be as well. He was this enigmatic presence. He had this great high-flying ability. He was a true daredevil. There was literally no heights he would not go with. Literally no stunt he would try just to put on a great match.
You talking about Pikachu?
No, I'm talking about Jeff Hardy. You let it go. You're never gonna catch a freaking Pikachu.
Shut up! I'm gonna catch a Pikachu.
Whatever. And as I was saying, Jeff Hardy's daredevil lifestyle, his amazing presence in the ring, outside the ring, his in-ring performance has led him to multiple world championships in WWE, TNA, wherever he's gone, and basically whatever company he's gone to. Multiple tag team championships, tag team titles around the world, mid-card titles around the world as well. To me, Jeff Hardy is everything I want to be, while I'm still trying to be me, a little bit weird, but you know what, exciting, a great wrestler, and, just all-around confidence in who he is.
I like him, like I said, and I like his work in the Broken gimmick as Brother Nero. I really like that, too.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was great, too. What's your number one?
My number one... I'm just kidding, I can't do it. Is the Phenom, the Dead Man, the Undertaker. I can't do it. I really like the Undertaker. Not only was he part of the first ever Hell in a Cell, he had casket matches. He had one of the.
He's pretty much well known for doing some of the more darkest stuff WWE's done. Really.
I think he was trying to sacrifice Stephanie McMahon once.
And he's even drowned his father in concrete.
Oh yeah, I mean he burned Edge. Remember that when he chokeslammed? Yeah, he burned his brother.
Yeah, pretty much he's done some of the most darkest stuff WWE's ever done, and we love him for it.
Yeah, and he is one of the greatest, to me, wrestlers of all time. You can't challenge that when it comes to the Phenom, the Undertaker. Not only that, he carried for a long time one of the greatest streaks in wrestling history. And
no, WrestleMania streak.
WrestleMania, and I was really, it kind of made WrestleMania a program that I wanted to watch. I feel like WrestleMania's kind of lost its luster since Undertaker lost the streak. Over the past couple years.
But you know what? We'll always have the memories.
And we will. And I'm a massive, massive Undertaker fan. I love The Undertaker. One of the saddest moments for me was watching him put his hat and jacket in the ring and with his gloves. Basically, saying I'm done. It was really sad. And he's definitely Hall of Fame. He's definitely going to be part of the
We're
Hall of
definitely
Fame.
going to see him in the Hall of Fame, if not the coming year, the next year.
Yeah. So,
So with that, we managed to get through our top 10. So, and this is probably our longest video also.
I think so. There's another person I want to mention. Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, Daniel Bryan, also great wrestler. But, yeah, longest video, and we managed to get through our top 10.
Yeah, definitely.
We hope that this segment goes through well with you guys also, because like I said, we're now a variety channel trying to figure out, how to help you guys make us understand you while at the same time understand us.
Yeah, so
So
feedback is very important. It will help shape this channel.
Yeah, please give us feedback. Tell us what segments you like. So we're gonna have to ask you which segments you like or which segments do you want us to do. Please put that in the comment down below. Subscribe to our channel and also leave a like to this video.
And don't forget to smash down, click upon the bell button. So that way when we do upload videos, you're the first to know.
So with that, I'm Sharp the Smart-Ass Dragon.
I'm DSP.
To say peace to everyone in the Dragon Revolution and to our new fan base who we are calling the Dragon Knights.
Yeah, the Dragon Knights. Peace out, Dragon Knights.
He came up with that name.
I did.
Goodbye, everyone.